Hello YouTube, welcome to AB and Jack Media YouTube channel. And here we keep things simple.
In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to whiten dirty eyes that look tacky, how to make it neat and clean in the most realistic way possible. We're also going to look at how to whiten teeth, to make it very clean so your portrait can have that bright, clean looking smile. All right, so that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to clean up these teeth, and we're going to clean up this eye and this other eye over here. All right, this is quite close. Let me zoom out a little bit so we'll have a full picture of what we're trying to do a little bit. So we have, right, there's the face. We have two eyes and one smile. We want to clean up the eyes, and we want to make the smile bright, very clean, very white. So we're going to, at the end of the video, have white eyes and white teeth. It's going to be as white and as realistic as possible. What you don't want to do is you don't want to make it looking too artificial. For instance, you don't want to have a, let me see, you don't want to simply just do something like this. Okay, I don't mind, this is not the real stuff. I'm just trying to show you what not to do. You don't want to just simply paint out this portion of the eye like this. Let me show you. Cut it out and then paint it out, paint it white, and then you cut this part out and paint it white. See, painting it white right now. This is what you don't want to do. This is looking very funny and artificial. Look at that. All right, let me go ahead and delete that quickly. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to, if you look at this eye closely, we're going to make it, where's my pointer? Look at here, you see there's a shadow here at the edge of the eyeball, at the edge here, the shadow cast by the eyelid. See over here, you see some shadow at the corner here, and this way around these places you can see the shadow cast by the eyelid. You want to maintain that shadow to preserve the realistic nature of the eye. When you eventually clean it up and make it white, you want to preserve these shadows cast on the eyeball by the eyelid. You can see this way you have some shadow cast here, this way and this way. So you want to preserve all of that. So this process is going to capture a realistic step-by-step way of cleaning up the eye, making it white without destroying the shadows cast on the eyes by the eyelid. So this makes it very real and appealing. So let's get into it straight up. The first step is go to selective color adjustment. You press that, your selective color, and it brings in selective color layer. Next step is to go to your colors, select neutrals. All right, select neutrals. I'll click on neutral. Then you go to black. On your neutrals, you go to black and hit, increase it to minus, or reduce it rather to minus 100. All right, you can reduce it using this knob, or you type it in here. All right, so but for this video I'm just going to use this knob to reduce it to minus 100. This is minus 100. That's the value. And make sure it's on relative, not absolute. Make sure it's on relative here. Right, so After that, we are going to go to here and click on color. All right, that's color. When we do that, it's going to give us like a black and white outlook of this image. And as you can see, our shadows are being preserved. Our shadows here and here on this side and on this side is preserved because we need that to make the final look very real and very appealing to the eye. So after this process, this stage, the next stage is to click here, right, on this white part, this mask, this white here. You click right there, and then you're going to invert this layer by pressing Control I. That is Control I if you're using a Windows system, or Command I if you're using a Mac system. So I'm using the Windows system. I'm going to press Control and hold, and then press I. So I'm going to invert that. And the next step is to come to my brush tool. Select your brush tool over here. Make sure it is, come to settings and adjust it. Make sure the hardness is on 0. Okay, make sure the hardness is on 0, and then you can come here and click somewhere here, and that goes away. So we have our brush tool selected. Now you want to make sure this black portion of this layer is selected here, not here as you can see, but this way here, selected, because this is where you're going to paint in the white color on top of the eye. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to hit the flow of the brush to 100. I'm going to move it all the way to 100 and start painting. Okay, I'm going to paint in that part, painting this part of the eye. Okay, I'm going to go to the other eye, the second eye. I'll paint in these parts that I intend to be white. Okay, I'll paint them out. All these parts will be painted out. Then I can go down to the teeth, same thing. I'll paint out the teeth. I'll paint it out like that. Okay. So pretty easy process. Just take your time, paint out the teeth. Make sure it's well done. As you can see, okay, it's becoming cleaner and whiter. Okay, make sure you're painting just the teeth. You're not touching the gums. All right, just the teeth. Paint around, and there you have it. So the next step is we're going to make 2 more layers of this layer we used to paint the eye. So to do that, we'll press Control and hold it down. We'll press J 1 time and we'll press it again second time. If we're using a Mac system, you want to press Command and hold it down, and then you press J twice to give you 2 more layers. So totally we have 3 layers. So you can see the eyes are looking white and clean, and our shadow is preserved. The shadow at the edge of this white, you can see here, the shadow cast by the eyelid is still there, it's preserved, and we have our white eyes. There you go. So you want to zoom out to see the bigger picture, the full picture. There you have it. Your eyes and your teeth are clean, white, looking real. So I want to close this eye signs by the side of this layer so you can see the before. This is before, and then I'll bring it back. You see the after is whiter. Let me zoom in and do that. You see, when I zoom in, you see better. Let me zoom in and show you on one eye. So if I put this off, the 3 layers above off, okay, by pressing the eye signs by the side there, if I leave it, you can see before it is looking yellowish and dirty. But if I bring it back, you see after, it's white, looking very clean, and the shadows at the side preserved perfectly and looking realistic. So this is what you want to do to get that white looking neat and realistic eyes. So our image has a bright smile, clean, and white eyes, clean, looking realistic. This is how to do it. Really simple. And if you want to be vivid and detailed, you see that the gums, okay, if we come to the teeth, the gums are not clean yet. So what you want to do here, you want to go to your, what you want to do, you want to go to your rectangle tool, all right? Then you draw a rectangle over the teeth that way, and then you come here to the layer of the rectangle. You double click on this white part. It could be any color on your system, all right? But mine is white. It could be any color. So whatever color it is, you double click on that part and change it to red. You know, just do that and then OK. And then after that, you want to make this layer, you know, transparent. You want to paint this layer over to the teeth, on the teeth only, or where the gum rather. You want to paint this layer on the gums only. So the first thing to do here is to first of all convert this layer to transparent, so you can later paint back the layer on just the gums, all right, to make the gums red, make it look cleaner and more realistic. So the first step to do is to go to your Alt key, press it. That's if you're using a Windows system, you press it, hold down, and then you press your add layer mask down here. I'll press that, then it becomes transparent. If you're using a Mac system, that will be option. You press option key, hold it down, and then you press that add a layer mask. All right, so that's what you want to do. So after that, you go to your brush tool and make sure it's this black part is selected on your layer here, not this way, but here. Make sure here is selected. Then you're going to zoom in and paint over the gums. Make sure you're painting over the gums. Okay, do this. You do this, paint over the gum. Wherever the gum is showing, you paint that over. Okay, paint that over the gum. Reduce the brush size there so I can get these details. Okay, all right. So after doing that, you change this layer to color. You change it to color. Then you double click on, let me do this again. You double click on this part here, not here, but this part. Double click and make it a little pale. Reduce that until it suits what you want. So I will just stop here. Yeah, I think I love it this way. So you want to, at this stage, you know, practice this part and make it realistic as possible. All right, so this is how to make the gums red and, you know, looking clean and not too pale. Okay, let me reduce the opacity of this layer a little bit. Okay, I think I like it this way. So this is for my picture. This does it for me. You might need to adjust your parameters a little different from mine, but you want to practice and play around with that and make sure you get used to it and work with what you see. If it's real, if you see it's real, and then that's it, it's real. If it's not yet real, you work on it until it looks as real as possible. So for my picture, these settings are just perfect.
If you liked this video, please subscribe, hit the bell button, like, and share with people who might also need this kind of content. Also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at AB and Jack Media. This is AB and Jack Media YouTube channel, and here we keep things simple.